me a couple of Alka-Seltzers, and they gave me the blood capsule. And I told the cameraman, listen, you've got one shot to get this.
Oh my gosh.
So they covered themselves in plastic. I says, when I come up, I'm coming up. And sure enough, as far as I take the capsules, I lay down, I chew on the blood capsule, and all of a sudden, the Alka-Seltzers start to neutralize, and they start to bubble. And all of a sudden, I can't take it anymore, and they go, action! When they yelled action, I sit straight up, and I heave everything I had within me. All the blood comes to life. As far as my insides came out, and it was a great shot, and I have the picture still hanging in my house.
Actually,
it was unbelievable.
Oh my god, it'd be so funny if you got a picture of like the in the moment it's still like
the vomit coming out, yeah.
The vomit, the blood.
I think I blew their minds because they didn't expect for all that to come out of me.
That's funny. That's really funny.
So that was a great challenge.
That's great, yeah.
And then you talk about on set when I did the other films. You know, you talk about going from going to that to The Fighter.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little trivia. As I told you earlier, I died 3 times in an Army of the Damned. But in the movie The Fighter, which was directed by David O. Russell, I get to play a Lowell police officer. And I did some background scenes with Mickey O'Keefe and Mark Wahlberg in a donut scene. And I'll never forget, we just got done shooting that scene. And David O. Russell comes to sit at the table I'm sitting at. And funny enough itself, as far as he turns to me and I turn to him just to acknowledge him, he's sitting at my table. And I says, okay, what do you want me to do now, boss? And he says, turns back at me, because a lot of people say that's taboo. You're not supposed to talk to the director. But anyway, as far as he turns to me, he says, what do you want to do? I says, I want to be an actor. He says, really? You want to be an actor? I says, listen, I want to be an actor. He says, really? He says, this business is a crazy business, kid. You sure you want to do this? I said, listen, I want to be an actor. So all of a sudden, he calls over his assistant. I forget his name at the time. And so he calls him over. He says, oh. He says, check the schedule. Is so-and-so making it back from L.A.? He just broke his foot on Thursday. He says, I don't think so. He says, great. He looks over to me, grabs me by my face, turns me because I have a goatee at the time. He says, oh, go shave that goatee. Go get a haircut and go to wardrobe.
Shape up.
He says, I'll see you Thursday. And you're an actor.
Wow.
So I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. So I did exactly what he told me to do. I'm excited. I go shave my goatee. I go get fitted for, now I'm a Bill Ricker State Prison Guard. And as far as I have to show up on Bill Ricker. And I show up to a scene that is supposed to be just me and Christian Bale. And they give me lines. And at that time itself, that same day I showed up, the guy that wasn't going to make it found it so important to do the same scene that I found important with Christian Bale, showed up. So what David did, because he's a fair guy, he says, listen, I'm going to give you both a chance to do the lines with Christian Bale. And we do a scene. There's me, Christian Bale, and this other guy. And I walk Christian in. Another prison guard gives me over to him as far as inside the cell. And I walk him over. I tell him to bend over. He bends over. Pull down your pants. Pulls down his pants. And I go, look at him. Look forward to your HBO movie tonight. And that was the line as far as he gave us. And we both did it. But coincidentally so, the scene didn't make it to the movie, but it made it to the deleted scenes.
Oh, nice.
But just to be able to have that scene, to be able to do a scene with a guy that wins an Academy Award for the same movie that you acted with him, and it was like acting with Charleston Heston.
That's amazing.
So, my point is this, is that you never know what's going to happen on set, but there's an old definition that I live by of luck, is where preparation meets opportunity. And you got to be ready, and sometimes it comes at you fast. And then come to find out, David did it to me again. He did it to me one more time as far as I was doing the movie American Hustle.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, he seen me, and all of a sudden he says, hey, Billy! I play an FBI task force guy. He goes, Billy, come here. Sure enough, he calls me up. He says, I want you to do the scene with Amy Adams. Really? He says, yeah, Amy, Billy. Billy, Amy. Hi, Amy. Nice to meet you. I worked on The Fighter. We exchanged hellos. He says, here's what I want you to do. I want you to walk her down the hall. I want you to open the door. Stop for a minute before you open the door. Throw her in the room, the padded room. Then she's going to try to reach for the door back. Close the door shut and just stand there. So I do the scene a couple times, and sure enough I do it. But when the movie came out, as far as I only had the back of me, as far as me opening the door and throwing her inside the padded room, but I still got to do the scene, and David, as far as acknowledged me. But that's what can happen on the set. You never know what can happen, and you got to be able to show up and be ready.
Be ready for anything.
Anything goes, kid.
Yeah, anything. That's amazing. All right. So you're an actor, but you're also involved in sports and car collecting, correct?
Very much so. I own a sports marketing company called Good Sports and Entertainment, which, as far as near and dear friend, I calls like my brother now, as far as my partner in crime, Jim McMahon, which is a 2-time Super Bowl champion, but he's the arch nemesis here in New England because he beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl in 1986. So I own a sports marketing company, which I do high-end celebrity events all around the country. And then I'm an avid car collector. I collect automobiles. I love cars.
Yeah.
I have accumulated quite a massive collection, which I have a beautiful 1947 Silver 8 Rolls Royce, which in Rhode Island is the only one of its kind, which is nice. There's only like 150 left in the world.
Wow.
So
that's so
that's pretty wild. I got a 52 Bentley R, which is nice. That's midnight blue and dove gray with the wide white walls.
Wow.
With the two-tone interior. That's very regal.
Sharp.
It's sharp, very sharp. And then I have, as far as a 66 Jaguar Mach 10, which is nice, the sedan. And then I have a little 2-seater Fiat Spider, 73 Fiat Spider. When I graduated high school, that was the year I actually entered high school.
Yeah.
In 1973. And then I have a little 2-seater Boxer, Porsche Boxer that I still use today, and I got out there. Yeah, a Porsche. So that's when I let my hair down and I just chill out. And I got my motorcycle. I got a customized motorcycle, a Kawasaki Main Street, which is pretty wild and pretty fast.
Oh, that's cool. So
Yeah.
like the street bikes a little bit more.
Yeah, I got them. Not so much the street bikes, but it sounds like a Harley, runs like a Harley, but it has a nice feel. Though I had a Harley, I had a '73 FLH Electric Glide that I sold.
Wow.
Sorry, I did. It was nice. It was a custom. I won like 10 trophies with it.
Wow.
I used to show that one.
Yeah.
And then I got a little scooter. And then I got my cars. I just sold a truck, a Jeep I got rid of, and I got my Fusion, and I got another truck.
Oh my god.
So I got quite a bit of hardware. I have a garage full of toys.
Yeah, that's really fun. That's really cool that you have those other things going on. Are there any other hobbies that you like to do?
Other than that, I like to travel a little bit. I like to see what this world's all about. My ambition is this next year maybe go to Italy. You know, with all the turmoil that's going on in the world, it's getting scarier and scarier to travel abroad. But I like to go overseas. I'd love to, experience the Italian culture. It's my mother's maiden name is Pazienza. And funny enough itself,
Italian.
yes, Italian meatballs on Sunday and brajol. And
Yeah.
I love my pasta, so
Oh yeah.
it's a lot of fun. And other than that, I enjoy having good times with my friends. You know what I mean? I enjoy just enjoying time out sometimes because you need that break mentally to regroup, and just as far as I smoke cigars. I have some nice passions. I make homemade wine, so it's pretty cool.
That's cool.
I try to enjoy the finer things in life. God blessed me with, being able to do so much, with having so little to start with.
Yeah.
But I live with this. It's not where you start; it's where you end up.
Exactly.
So.
And how hard you work to get there. All right. So you have an action-packed, really intense reel that really left a great impression on me. There's a lot of notable TV appearances as well as film appearances. It's 2 minutes long, so it's like, look as it needs to be because there's so many awesome things and clips and just everything that needs to be shown. You can't leave that out. It's just, they don't give actors enough time with the 1 minute rule. I don't really like that rule. But anyways, it's there. And but I really love how you can play like the rough and tough character, like the mob character, like you say, and be the antagonist. And like I also really love how you can be a really calm, like clean-shaven, like police officer as well. Like very proper in your language, articulate, pretty neutral, authoritative. Still in a way, and also you seem to have a brand and like a knack for like these sort of performances, like this sort of range, this little niche, I'd say. Like, do you agree?
Well, funny enough itself, I don't think I can play a ballet dancer, being my size, 6'2", 275 pounds, but, coincidentally so, it's either I play a cop or a bad guy, but I've been wanting to challenge different areas of my range. I just did a little comedic thing for Charlie Flannery, which was fun, on the Christmas show, where I played a butcher hooked on coke and ex-fighter. So that was pretty wild. It was pretty funny and pretty wild because it gave me a chance to be who I wanted to be. It's a little nuts. But playing a bad guy comes very easy in a sense because I hate to say it, when I lost my career in football, I almost sold my soul to the devil by becoming a street guy. I wanted to be part of the mob. I wanted to grow up and be an enforcer, maybe work my way through the ranks and really sell my soul to the underworld. And I'll never forget, there was a gentleman, which I refrain to say his name, but he was involved, part of the family, and he seen me hanging around, and but he knew I had a good heart. And he took me to the side one day. He says, "Hey, kid," he says, "this ain't for you. You're too good for this." And he says, "You got brains on top of brawn. Why don't you do something with your life?" And I'll never forget that. And sure enough, I did. I went on and made a big difference in my life. But I can relate because I've seen a lot: the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. So when I play a bad guy, that's the easy part. When I play bad, I'm real good. And sometimes I'm great because I know and I seen and I lived that side of life. Mm-hmm. When I play a cop, it's funny because I played a cop on ABC, Body of Proof, for 8 episodes, and I worked with Dana Delaney and Sonia Sohan and Nick Bishop, which was on every Tuesday night at 10 o'clock. I got to speak as far as on the show as well, which was exciting.
Wow. Yes, I love that line that you said you delivered.
Oh yeah, when I found the evidence bag as far as detectives.
You handed it over.
Found down the road, found down the street, 2 blocks away. No card or cards, or something like that. And there was something else that went with it. But what was exciting is that I play a good cop, being a big guy, brawn guy. I clean up pretty well. And what was even more fun was the fact that when I did network television and to be able to be cast on network television, it was more so the challenge of being able to get the job. And then I'm at rehearsal at 5:30 in the morning. I come out of makeup, out of the trailer, and it's an amazing thing, because when you do background work, sometimes you get lost, you get treated like cattle. Well, when you pick your head up and the director says, "Okay, let's go to rehearsal," and you see all the stars of the show around you, and all of a sudden you go, "Hey, I made the team." And it's pretty wild. It's a pretty exciting and a thrilling feeling because it's like a graduating process,
Yeah.
When you used to go home to school with your diploma with your mom, and you show them your paperwork, because my father was dead when I was 8, but I go home with my mother and I would show her my paper. I was excited. So funny enough, my peers, and as far as gave me a lot of props and a lot of respect that I made the team and I was able to do what they were trying to do. So yeah, it's a very exciting time. And then now what I do, as you know, I see a lot of different scripts come before me, and I've made a decision in my life to be very selective because, everybody's a filmmaker and there's a lot of independent guys out there. But what I've tried to do as far as be very selective who I get involved with, because of my career is so important, because I'm not 25 years old, I'm 50, just turned 56. And I want to be selective of what I do. I chose this profession this time. Okay, in that sense is that if I chose it, I want to do it. I want to do it my way, and I want me to be able to control my destiny. And I don't get lost in the ego part of it, because if I did, I wouldn't, just be who I am. I mean, no matter where I go, no matter how high I reach, I'm still Billy. I'm still Billy V. There's an old saying that a guy taught me, a very successful guy. You got to be careful of the foot you step on today. It may be connected to the ass you're going to kiss tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So some guys forget on the way up and think ego is everything, but that's not what it's all about. It's more so I enjoy the process, and that's why I've been taking on different roles that are totally not me, just to challenge myself as my craft and to find out within myself, because when I take on a role, I take it on not only personally, but I take it on emotionally.
Yeah.
Because as you know, acting is not just reciting words. Those are just words on paper. My job as an actor is to blow air in the lungs of that paper to give it life.
Yes.
So what I try to do as far as leave an impression, because you don't have a second chance sometimes to leave a first impression.
Exactly.
So that's how I approach my acting.
That's very good. That's very good. So speaking of being selective, that's very important in, I believe, personal life and professional life, especially, when you're giving your all and you want to put it all on the line and you're giving it all. Like, you work a lot with Woodhaven Production Company and Verdi Productions, correct?
I've done 3 films with them, yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. I remember seeing Self-Storage and Bleed for This and Army of the Damned on your impressive IMDb page, and I've watched those. So that's really exciting. That's probably like, admittedly, sadly, the only few I've been able to like watch of theirs. I want to see all of them, you know.
Well,
but
they got it all together. You know,
They
Chad
do.
Verdi and Tom DiNucci.
They're
As far as
amazing.
really exciting because Tommy's an up and coming kid. He knows his stuff as well as he's very good at what he does, and I'm proud to be able to work with him and Chad.
Yeah.
I first worked with Chad in a movie called Lucy's. I don't know if you remember Peter Facinelli. He was a pretty boy. He played on those Twilight series. He played the vampire,
Yeah.
the father. I'll tell you a funny story. I play, as far as in this movie Lucy's, I play a strong-arm bad boy that this guy, Peter Facinelli, owes money to us. So I go to collect it. So when I go to collect it, I walk in this pantry and I grab him by the tie and I knee him in the crotch. He goes down to the ground and I wrap the tie around my hand with this hand and I'm punching with this hand.
Yeah.
So coincidentally so, the camera's coming up on me as far as to get the close-up because he's all bloodied up from me beating him. And I'm punching and I'm punching and I'm coming pretty close. I can feel me just the skim of his nose going through I have a big knuckle on my right hand.
Yeah.
And that's not from playing the piano, but,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? As far as I feel, the second take, he happens to move, and I nick his nose.
Oh.
All of a sudden, he goes, oh! Like that. I like to say as far as I hit him, and when I did, as far as I didn't hit him, I know if I did, I would know it. But he thought I did because it was just so fast and so quick, and it was abrupt. So they call, time out, time out! They take him, they put ice on his nose and everything, so he's laying down. They think he's dead, practically dead. Chad was worried about getting sued.